Good morning and welcome to the early bird. And here we're looking at the Dow Jones CFD here, and we've got the medium level here, 11,500. On Friday, we counted these little five waves up here, and we thought, well, that's a possible top here, but we never had any confirmation in the downtrend through here. We thought there may have been in terms of down for one here and back for two, and the third wave coming down, which we want to see like third, fourth and fifth coming down. So we really wanted to see five waves here to get confirmation to the downside, as five waves gives us direction and three waves gives us a counter trend. So we only had that three wave correctional pattern there. So then if we get three waves here, then we take out this high here in Elliott terms. So we're going to be going through the same process again here in terms of a five wave structure moving up through here. And it would look something like this here, the five waves here for wave one, back for wave two, and then looking at the third wave coming in through here, and maybe not quite finished just yet in terms of up for one, back for two, up for three, back for four, and up for five here for the third, then the fourth and the fifth. Now, we'll have a look in a moment. There also can be the top of the fifth. This fifth wave can be in here as well, but we'll have a look at that in a moment. But just give it a bit of space here. The figures that we'd be looking for up here, as you know, would be the sub level at 11,650, the 11,700 has got some pull, but we'd be looking at the 720 here, and then especially the 11,772 here. That would be the any sort of maximum to the upside. Now, in this slightly bigger picture here, essentially we're just waiting for this five waves to play out here, and then and a retest here of the 11.5 here. Now, in the bigger picture, the medium level 11,500 as support or resistance is the key element that we're looking for. So if we do get support on here, then we'll be looking further to the upside. But would also need support on the 11,000, sorry, the 4,300 on the ASX 200 as well, and we'll get to that in a minute. So support on the 11.5 here, and support on the 11.3, 4.3, sorry, on the on our local cash market, the ASX 200 there. So in getting support, that's a process, and in that process there's a series of retests, and retests essentially just checking the trend to find the demand there, but we work that around the psychology of price. So the 11,500 here, we'd want to see that retested here, and check back in to see if there's really strength there, and that's what we'll be waiting for. So once again, as we didn't do here, we didn't want to get trapped in this here, and we don't really want to get trapped in this situation as well. Now, the Dow's made new highs across here. Now, our local market, the SPY, never made new highs. It's still struggling just below the 4.3 at that subgroup 2 level there, that 4272 area there. So it didn't trade as high as the Dow. So there is some sluggishness there, and what that means is that if there is any down pull on the US markets here, then the SPY would drop quicker, because it's lagging a little bit, like silver's lagging gold a little bit as well. Gold sort of pushing up a bit higher, silver struggling to do that. So that would be the short trades that you'd be looking for on those markets there. But markets are in fear at the moment. Be it a positive sort of anxiety or vice versa. But when that occurs, then all markets pretty much tune into each other and create the same pattern. So this particular pattern that we're seeing here, we'll be seeing that in all other indices and all other markets as well. So the commodity section as well. So just drilling down into this scenario here, this is the US 30 again. It's just really sort of having a bit of a closer look at that particular wave structure there. So it's quite easy to see. We were looking at this this A, this B wave, and this C wave to here to make wave 4. We didn't get that 5 wave structure that we were looking for down through here. So it was a possible top, but we didn't have the evidence in the internal wave structure there. So we're looking for the next 5 waves up, and this is up for wave 1 here. and this is up for wave 1. There'll be 5 waves in this structure, and there'll be 5 waves in wave 3 and 5. So we've got the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5 there. Then we've got the A, the B, and the C here for wave 2. So that's a nice, pretty picture there in terms of Elliott. And because we've got some sort of extension in the 3rd wave here, that means that when we do get the 5th wave, it will be about the same as this structure here. So essentially like this structure here that we were looking at, we were going up for wave 1. So that would be wave 1 there, yep. And that would be the wave 3 there. And this is the wave 3 that we're looking at in here. Now, I think this is wave in this wave 3 here that we're looking at. We've got this little sharp jump here, which sort of throws me a little bit, but I think we've got wave 1 to there, wave 2 to there. We can have wave 3 to there, wave 4 to there, and wave 5. So that wave 5 up there can be there. And then we've got, sorry, the wave 3. So I've done that right there, sorry. Wave 3 to here, then the wave 4 here, and wave 5. So this could be the top coming in here now in terms of this wave 5 here, but we've still got a bit more to play out here. And you know that the 650 is the sub level. It's halfway between the 500 and the 800 there, the 1, 2, 3, 5, 8 Fibonacci numbers there in terms of price. So that it is important through here, but it can push higher through here. So there's a little bit of debate about this, but it doesn't really matter. We'll see this play out on Monday and Tuesday, and last week we were looking at that being a turning point as well. So we'll play that out there. But this is the same scenario with all the markets. So there's nothing really, I'll just be repeating myself looking at these other charts here, but this is the S&P 500 here, and at the 1200 here, the same scenario here, up for 1. The wave 2 should be over here in a 3-wave corrective pattern, and then I'm calling this up for wave 1 here, but this is where it could be a little bit tricky here, and I'll just explain this a bit more. So this wave 1 can be to here, say, and this wave 2 can be to here. And then we've got up for 1, back for 2, up for 3, back for 4, and up for 5. So that's 3 there, because normally you get the extension in that particular structure there. So that can go to there. That can go to there, and we've still got the 4th wave here and the 5th wave to play out. That's the little bit that I don't understand. So it's not quite clear just there. So we can push higher, but we can use the level. So we understand that the minor trading level at 1,200 here is also within minor group 1, the 100, 200, and 300. So it's the pivot within that. So it is important that it's got support here. Will it find support? So we want to see this structure finish itself, then come back and retest. If it can't find support on there, then we can take a bearish stance from that point there. But what we can do is we can break it down further from minor into sub-minor. So we can go sub-level 1, 2, and 3 here. And you know that with all group 1s, this 1, 2, and 3 is group 1. If support is found on top of group 1 here, then it psychologically separates itself from this number here, the closest largest number, and then we can move up from there and have a look at the midpoint at 1250. But first of all, we just need to allow this to play out through here and within this structure here, and that's what we need to do. And that's the same with the UK market as well. We've got that wave 4 here on its low here, the wave 1, the wave 2 here, and moving up for wave 3 here. This is all a bit dodgy within here. It's a 30-minute chart, but we'll see how that sort of plays out there. 5 is the second strongest number in the market after 1, so this is going to give it grief here at the 5,500 there. But once again, allow it to be sold off and have another push high there, and then see if it finds support on here. So support or resistance at 5,500. So just give it some time the Monday to play out from that, and we should be able to pick up the trade on Tuesday, be it long or be it short. And this is the same with the Australian market as well, but I'll just bring up the daily chart here for our local cash market here. And the main point here, and always has been, is that the medium level here is 4,000. Then we've got minor group 1, the 100, 200, and 300. If support is found on top of group 1, on any group 1, then we can go long from that point here. Otherwise, group 1 always just traps the price and holds the price to the closest largest number, and this would be here. Now we've seen last week, we understood that we had this nice strong bar through here, but then we've seen weakness come in this bar here. It is weaker because it's got a shorter trading range, and then we could see the shorter trading ranges come in through here. So with a trend, you've got a beginning, a middle, and an ending structure, and that would be the same with corrections as well, a beginning, a middle, and end. So yes, look, there will be another push up through here. The SPY never went as high as its old high here on Friday, so it is sluggish a little bit, but we wouldn't turn long in the market in terms of terming longer term long, unless we had really solid support on top of the 4,300 here, the top of group 1. So we certainly need to allow this to play out, and we also need the Australian dollar to play out as well, up where it is on the retest of 105 and covering a gap just below that as well. So we'll see how we go through here, but you know, we can see weakness in here, and yes, there will be another little push up, but you know, it's important not to, you know, we didn't want to get trapped here, so there's no reason why we want to get trapped here as well. We need this to play out there. To have a closer look at that there on the that's just the daily. So this is I'll just come back to this one in a moment, but I'll do it now because this is like the strong part of the wave here, the third wave, and this is the overlapping wave structure. So this is the sort of last little push, we hope, in terms of we had only 3 waves come down through here, the 3 waves there. So that's corrective, and that high should be taken out from that point. So we're looking for 5 waves to the upside there, and we'll be looking up for 1 and back for 2, and then we can see that we're pushing up through there, and we'll have a look at that in a moment. So we've got subgroup 2 area here plus the 4-3 here, but once we get that 5 wave structure played out, we should see that roll over from there. So that's the 1, the 2, and coming up into there. But as at the moment, in terms of trading, we've got support on there, so that's why you would be long at that stage there. We wouldn't be short under 4.2 there, under the closest largest number. So just looking at that in terms of 15-minute chart here, this is what we had sort of in the Thursday, Friday. We had this move down through here, and we pointed out at that stage it looked corrective from that point. Yeah, so we've got that quite a clear sort of 3-wave structure there, and then same with the Dow and the other markets at the moment. So we've got that 5-wave structure pushing up through here as wave 1. If we get 5 waves in this direction, in the opposite direction of the actual trend here, then we can be guaranteed of another 5, and that's what we're looking at through here. As I mentioned, the US markets took this high out here. This market hasn't done that, so it's slightly sluggish. A little bit difficult to count in here, but we could assume that that would be the top of the 3rd there, the 4th there, and we've got a 5th wave to play up through there. So yeah, we'll just see how that plays out. But as I mentioned the other day on Friday, that if you've got retested support on top of group 1, the 10, 20, and 30, that's the breakout's important, but the retest is more important, checking for support. So that's the point that you'd be looking at. That's the point you'd be getting in your trade to the midpoint there. So in trading this long here, you know that you need the midpoint as support, and then you know group 2 here, the 65, 72, and the 80 here. The 72 here will carry more weight because of the 272 there. And the number 7 has got to do with the timing point as well. But this is strong resistance here, but should push up into here, looking for a high above here, first of all, and also looking for a 5-wave structure in terms of 1, 2. That could be 3 up to here, then a 4 and a 5 up to there. I'm not sure. But I would say that that's the 3rd, 4th there. So I wouldn't see much in there as well at that point there. Okay, well, oil's the same as well, the drivers. So if we look at the market drivers here, we're looking at pretty much the 5 waves, still working the 5 waves up here in oil. And we're also looking for the last little 5 waves in here. Oil follows stock, so as the Dow turns, that will turn there. As you know, the 88, the number 8's a profit-taking number, so we'll see that get hit here once again. But we're also looking for 5 waves from this 83 level here, top of group 1 here, so up for 1, back for 2, up for 3 in here somewhere, a 4 and a 5. So look, it can go up to the 90 and retest that. That's what this is. It's a retest of the 90 of the supply up here. So we'll see how that pans out, but we're just still working with this last structure here, and copper's the same as well in terms of this market pushing up a little bit sort of higher here. I don't think it will go above the 350 here, but we'll just got to see how it pans out in this little structure here that we're following. You can see up for 1 and back for 2, and this is a strong third wave cranking up through here, and the fourth and the fifth coming in up to here. The fourth wave of 1 lesser degree was just below the 350 here, so 348 would be about right for that structure to finish through there. The gold market is still holding above the medium level here, the medium level 1650 here. And while it's above there, obviously we would not be shorting above this level here. We would be holding long above this level here after the retest here, and then we'll be looking for support on group 2 here. But once again, this is still petering out to into it's all overlapping wave structures through here, and in the bigger version of all of this is definitely a corrective pattern, and we're just trying to see the last bits play out through here. So here you can see the 1, the 2, the 3 here, 4, and there'll be 5 coming in through here to the 16, probably 88 within here, somewhere in amongst here. Could make a new high. Not that it matters that much. We just need to allow it to play out, and this is following stock. And it's also doing the mirror opposite to the US dollar, so we can bring that into play. And we're looking at the US dollar slowing down now and finding support into the 76 region there. You can see that silver's a little bit weaker than gold here. This is silver here, and if we're looking at the bigger, this is definitely a third wave coming down through here on the 2-hour chart here, from the 4, medium level 4 down to the major level 3 here. But this is definitely a correction through here in terms of an A and a B and a C wave playing out. So we're looking for weakness here to short, but you know, it's going to be the same old sort of story when the markets do trend in a particular direction. They're all going to go in the same thing. So it's you can't really divide things up into sectors, but because they'll all do the same. US dollar index doing the mirror opposite here, and we're pretty much just counting these wave structures coming to the downside here from the major level 80 up there. And we're counting this as there's 2 ways to count this. We can count it down as an A and a B and a C correction coming down here a little bit further down through here, a C wave, or we can count it down as wave 3. There's 2 possibilities here, wave 3 or wave C. Wave C is finished and we move up from that point. If it's a wave 3, then we'll go into a wave 4 and a wave 5 down. Now, just counting in these last structures here, so from this point here, we got down for 1, back for 2, down for 3, back for 4, and then we're looking at the 5th wave unfolding here. So from the 4th wave down to the 5th wave here, we've got 5 waves. So we've got down for 1, back for 2, down for 3 here, could be here, back for 4, and then down for 5 here. And in this 5 down here, there's still more to come out through here. So we've got down for 1, back for 2, then down for 1, back for 2, down for 1, back for 2. So we've got, this is the 3rd wave here, and the 4th. So we've still got the 5th here. We've got a little 5th, a little 4th, and a little 5th. So we should come down to the 76.50 here, which is a sub-level, the 65 sub-level there. It's always a good one to work with. So we should see it down a bit further. There's an old gap over here that it's covering now, so that should be fine there. The Australian dollar's covering a gap to the upside there. So the euro will be doing the mirror opposite. I'll just take that away for 1 second. Have a look at the bigger picture here. Okay, so in the bigger picture here, we're just same as the Dow and the other ones are just going the 1, the 2, and then we're going the 1, the 2, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4. So it's just counting up through here. This is a retest of the 1.4 here, and we just want to see this last bit sort of play out here. So that's what we'll be looking at during the Australian session here and the European session. So in this, I won't bore you to death here, but look, basically this is the little wave 4 low here. So we'll be looking for, did I do it already on here? No, I didn't. Sorry about all that. Look, basically up for 1 here and back for 2, yeah. And then we're looking for the wave 3 up. Now wave 3 is going to be the longest and the strongest, so we could count up for 1 and back for 2 here, then up for 1, back for 2, up for 3, back for 4, and up for 5. So we've still got, probably lose me a little bit here because I'm not probably explaining it that right as well. But look, we're basically still in the 3rd wave, and there's still more to play out here. But you wouldn't go long here until this is played out at the 10 at the 139 here. So anyway, you know how to work the levels, the group 2 and group 1. There will be a correction across this level here, allow it to occur, then find support on it. So as that's pushed up to the 139 here and then sold off, so you've got the arrival, the sell off, the support, then you're looking for the first high above the level, then you're looking for the correction. So a bit like this here, the arrival, the reaction, the support, the first highs above the level, and then it's back on through here. So this is where this kind of thing you'd be looking for over here to get up to the 140 there. The Australian dollar, that's the same sort of pattern there really as the euro there. So on a 4-minute chart, up for the 1, back for 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a bit dodgy in there, but still the 1 and the 2. Then you've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the top of the third wave. So even we've got up for 1 here in brackets, but then we've got no brackets here. So we've got smaller 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Then there'll be 5. So then there'll be 5 in brackets up here. The gap's being covered. There's and then 4, 5. So we're just looking at the topping section there. The gapping is here. You'll see this gap in here. You'll see that on the 4-hour charts on the site there. So that's just coming in to be closed now. So we're still looking for that A wave up here. And as I mentioned on Friday or Thursday, that, or maybe even before that, we could see that, could see the wave structure in this section here being still sort of panning out on, still extending. So we could see that we'd seen this one here, which is more powerful than any of these ones in here, right? And then we'd seen this one here, which is even more powerful than this one here. So we've basically got an expanding wave structure here, and now we're seeing this one here move up, but it's moving up in a slower manner than this one and this one. So if this is the middle here, then this is slowing out through here. And here you can see up for 1, back for 2, and the third wave going in here. There'll be a 4th and a 5th here. So cover that gap over yonder here, and that should roll over with our local cash market. So that's pretty much it really. So all the markets the same. We're just trying to watch the last bits of this 5-wave structure sort of play out. Now, I don't know if it's the top, but it just appears that way, and we just need to work with that. So like, we're in no rush because we can see weakness in here, and yes, we know there's going to be another little push up here for the Dow and for our local market and all the rest of it, but we can't go long at the top of its structure. It's just the risk is too high, even though we could be proven to be wrong. So we need to go with the possibilities or the probabilities, whatever you want to call them. And for me, we need support on top of this resistance here, this level here, the 4-3 there. So if we see something like this, is what we'd be looking for in a bit of a sense. So if we're looking for a little 5 waves here, if we're looking for something like that, then we would get from this whole correction here, we should get a thing coming back. The norm would be 40% to 60%, somewhere like that. But let's just say that we get something like that, or even something lower like that. Let's say a minimum of that. If we get that absolute minimum there, then what we would be looking for from that point is we would be looking for a little 5 waves to move up like that. Would be looking for a little 3 waves to move back like that. And whoops. And we just want to see a building process take place on top of that. There. So if we'd seen that there, so this point here, see how that's sort of done up and done its correction, then got back up there. So this is a minimum pullback here. So that's what we're sort of looking at there. That's what we want. We want that support there, and we want to see that in the material sector. We want to see that in the banking sector, and we want to see that in individual stocks as well. And we'll start pulling them out from there. But as I mentioned earlier last week, as long as people don't really care, or individual stocks don't care that much, as long as they see the market, edging higher to old highs, they will consider the market being positive and be up to the upside. But we need to understand that there's a beginning, a middle, and an end to a trend, and that's what we're waiting for. We don't want to get trapped at the top here, and I know that I've been harping on about that all through here. but it's still the case and it's still the reality. So, we need a strong base to work off. And yes, I do know that the ASX 200 can trend up really nicely and have shallow retracements back like this. And you only need to have a look at the 203 trend going up and the 209 trend going up as well to get a sort of a feel of what we're sort of up against. But we understand from the levels that we would need support at these highs here. So that's what we're looking for there. I mean, the supply for the Dow really doesn't really come in until around just below the 12,000. So if we did have a look at the Dow Jones for a second, just bear with me. And when I talk about the Dow, you need to have a look at the transports and everything as well. So this is what we're sort of looking at here. In this here, we know that the medium level here is at the 11.5 here, and we're looking for support on that as well. That's the main thing that we're looking for here, and we feel that this little 5-wave structure that's pushing up through here has got to come back and check on it. See, it's not enough just to trade. It's not enough just to trade up above this here. It's got to come back and find it, and that's what we're looking for there. And yes, it can find it, and we know that the supply for this is not really in until this point up here. So yes, the Dow can come back up to close to 12,000 here in that regard there, and yeah, it's fine. But all we're looking for to go along is the right support on here, and for this particular structure to pan out here and give us some sort of pullback, so we can get in on it through there as well. So that's the story. So yeah, you can be long. There's not like a big deal about it, but I certainly wouldn't go shoving loads in at this point in time. We need a base to work off. So. Alrighty, well, good morning and good luck.